CEO, Mr. Zenti, who I think is an awesome man, by the way.
Yeah.
What we decided to do was to try to get every leader to be a champion of diversity, and every employee an ambassador.
Okay.
So we didn't want to go and do things for the employees. We wanted them to engage in doing it for themselves.
That's interesting.
So what we did was we formed a Senior Leadership Diversity Council that has the leadership from human resources, marketing, communications, system services that has all the job leads and facility maintenance, the chief nursing officer, chief medical officer, a large group of leaders come together and they own the diversity in their lines of authority.
Wow.
So they don't have to be minority, they can be majority, but they own diversity.
Yes.
And then they have to report that back. I chaired that council for 7 years.
Yes.
They reported back to the leader of that council.
Yes.
And then that council reports to the Senior Leadership Council, which is run by our Chief Executive Officer.
Very inclusive.
And then from there we go to the Board of Directors.
That is very inclusive.
The board.
That is very, very, very interesting. Now we are talking to Dr. Edgar B. Jackson, who is a senior, actually an interim senior advisor to the CEO of the University Hospital. He has a long history in medicine. He's definitely an example in the African American community, and we hope that he's going to give us more insight. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue to talk to Dr. Edgar B. Jackson. We'll be right back. Again, we are back tonight with our guest, Dr. Edgar B. Jackson from EBJ and Associate, and also the current interim senior advisor to the CEO of the University Hospital here in Cleveland, Ohio. Dr. Jackson, I know you're widely troubled, and one of the interesting things I found out, University Hospital has a picture of young people, and this is what they write. This is the new University Hospital. How do the young kids become the new University Hospital? Talk to us about that.
Well, what we hope is that we will encourage young people to pursue that dream and stay in school and become whatever they dream of becoming. We hope a significant number will want to become health professionals and want to work at university hospitals. That's what we hope. But we have programs, for example, like we've done at Audubon Elementary School. We have a number of programs on site at our Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. And we just try to engage the young people, encourage them. And we also then engage with high school kids at the School of Science and Medicine at John Hay. And at Central Catholic High School as well. And then in college, we try very much to engage the pre-med students. We have national programs to attract undergraduate kids and medical students from around the country.
That's interesting. What do you think are some of the barriers for most minorities that they don't take medicine? What do you think are some of the barriers?
Well, I think the biggest problem, especially in our urban communities, I think is a discouragement that prevails in our society, and a lot of the kids just drop out. And that's why it's such a high dropout rate in all of our major cities. And it seems to affect the African American male more than the female. But it's an issue in our community. And I think that's hurt us a lot in developing a larger pool of leaders for tomorrow.
So you think University Hospital should probably even do more from the young teenagers to show them not only are they leaders of tomorrow, but it's important for them to embrace medicine and make it interesting and also something they can aspire to be.
Yes, I think, but the thing about the medical industry that's sometimes not as well known is there's a great need also for all levels of workers in finance, in physical therapy, in nursing, in pharmacy, in law. I mean, so that anything you can do is needed in a large system like hospital system. IT especially. So that what we want to do is encourage kids to go differentiate along the lines of their passion, but stay in school. And we need you.
That's true. That's good. I have to say, commend that you guys at the university are doing a very good job. I'm impressed with that. We talk a little bit about IT. Somebody mentioned to me that a doctor could be doing surgery here, and somebody in India or Africa or Europe could be seeing it or giving instructions. I think, as you already know, Dr. Jackson, the technology is here to stay. Talk a little bit about some of the technology initiative that impresses you, some of the things that probably in 1970 when you became a doctor, you would have even thought about. Talk to us about that.
We didn't have any technology back then. Matter of fact, we only began our intensive care units back then. We didn't have coronary care units and medical. We didn't have that stuff when I was in training in the 60s. But anyway.
Yes, they're here now.
Yeah, they're here. And one of the greatest technologies, I think, is the electronic medical record, where doctors can talk to each other both within and across systems, so patients can have the protection of their information when it's needed, where it's needed. And then, of course, we do have the teleconferencing ability to educate each other and also to help guide people who may not have a technique, because we know we can guide and tell them how to do it long distance in another country.
Are they using that in your training? When people are going to medical school, are they using that also in terms of training in the classroom?
Well, most of the training has to do with using imaging to help with microsurgeries, where you can actually use the imaging devices to remove the gallbladder to fix something. That's more the use of it.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, the other thing I know, there's a disparity between how many male and female are graduating from colleges. The statistics show that almost 2 times women are graduating. Is this a concern?
It's a great concern. It's a marked concern for a lot of reasons. One is, whenever you lose any part of diversity, you lose talent. And that's the biggest one. We're using a lot of, especially African-American male talent being lost in our country. And so there's a lot of concern about it. And also there's a concern on the part of the women who really look, where do I get my mate when they're ready to mate. So it's a big concern. We're very concerned about it, and most people are. We're trying various things to get to young African-American males as young as possible. A lot of the single-gender schools are doing a better job, for example.
That's true. So, but there's also, you have to say there's a lot of opportunity in medicine.
A lot of opportunity. Tremendous opportunity. Nursing,
administration,
in all
scheduling.
In all fields of medicine, there's tremendous opportunity. And a desire on the part of most institutions to have more diversity. Have more leaders of color.
Excellent, excellent. There are 2 things I want to cover. I know University Hospital is opening a big section over here, somewhere in the suburb in Beechwood. And talk to a little bit about it. It's called the Hoosier Center. Talk to us a little about this center and what it's going to do for the community.
The Hoosier Medical Center is a complete community hospital. It will offer a full range of services for adults. It's more limited maybe with children who can get their care at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. We'll have an emergency department, of course, that handles children and adults. And excellent surgeries available in all surgical areas. So it brings excellent medical facility and the talent of the doctors at University Hospital closer to the community.
That is true.
And some problems will have to be transmitted to the academic center, but most can be handled in the community hospital.
And it's slated to open when? Give us some stuff.
It's going to be, we'll be staffing it late this year, and it'll be open for patients early in 11.
So the first week of maybe in 2011 it'll be open.
I can't give that date exactly, but I would say within the first 2 months.
Within the first 2 months. That is great. All right, again, we are talking to Dr. Edgar B. Jackson, who is with EBJ and Associate. I'm going to have him give you his email and also how you can reach the hospital. When we come back, Dr. Jackson wrote the foreword for the current Cleveland Who is Who in America. So I'm going to ask him to talk about that, a little bit about that. And also, I'm going to ask him about the health reform bill. What does Dr. Jackson think about what is this doing to the minorities? Again, we'll be coming back talking to Dr. Edgar B. Jackson. Thank you.